Good morning from Tattenhall.
Just shy of Tattenhall Marina, just above Tattenhall itself, and near the famous ice cream farm we haven't actually been to.
Thought about it, but don't actually want ice cream.
I wanted ice cream because I walked all the way back to Chester yesterday after walking from Chester.
So 7 miles. Michael walked 20 miles yesterday.
Yeah, 20 miles total. But I got my prescription, so that's good. And a coffee.
I mean, we won't mention there's a pharmacy in the village, but you know.
Well, there is a pharmacy in the village, but the problem was that my prescription had already been approved and prepared at the pharmacy
and
in
trying
Chester.
to get it to change was less hassle. Was more hassle
like,
than walking
like
20
calling back
miles.
and being like, can you take it off of preparation, put it back on the thingamajig so that the computer over there can pick up the thing on the thingamajig.
More hassle than walking 20 miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't go to the ice cream factory. Michael walked near it, but I didn't want ice cream.
Ice cream farm. They grow ice cream here.
They had some good flavours, but I'm quite boring with my ice cream, so I would have just had brownie or mint choc chip anyway.
Yeah. Back in the day when I was allowed ice cream,
You'd have had bubblegum.
I'd have had bubblegum strudel mixed with. Turns out there's tomato flavored coffee, so that's interesting.
To look forward to.
I haven't found it yet,
But anyway, we are going hopefully all the way to Helston Junction today, where there's another ice cream factory.
Snugberries.
So I might go there.
We really liked it there.
But I'm sure we'll really like it here, but we just didn't make it.
Yeah. This one looks more of like a tourist.
Yeah, there's like play areas and restaurants.
And a big bear of some sort and stuff. But
And
it does look really nice on Google. We just
There's an
were
entry
lazy.
fee, but I think you can go to the drive-through on foot and not go into the... I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
No entry fee at Snugberries. We're going to head there.
We woke up to rain this morning, which was all the excuse I needed not to get out of bed super early. But the rain seems to have stopped and the sun is trying to come out. So...
I've still got my waterproof socks on because the grass is definitely moist.
And Michael didn't do enough walking yesterday, so he's going to walk today.
Yeah.
And
Didn't do nearly enough.
I think there's 3 locks and then a double lock. I think one of the locks might be that old iron-sided lock.
That'll be fun. We could shoot at it with brass cannon or something. See just how tough it is when you hit it with a mangonel or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. I am still not fully awake, as you might have noticed.
So should we just go?
Yeah, so I'm going to walk George
Yeah, to the first lock and then
to
he'll
the first
get on
log,
board.
and then he'll get on board, and then we'll try and dislodge that 10p piece from the bottom of the magnet on our GoPro. And at that point, the GoPro will be mounted, time-lapse will be recorded, and I'll be a little bit richer. Although it was probably my coin to begin with, so maybe not all that much.
Mine.
Well, that's true. But
Mine is yours as well.
yeah, yeah, well, communal property laws and all that. Though George is neither of ours. He's his own beast.
person.
Yes, and he made that clear this morning when I tried to inspect his ear. Whew, teeth up and everything. Right, so shall I stop prattling?
Yeah.
Okay, prattling mode off.
Is that how you do it? I wish I'd known that ages ago. Oh my god, that could have saved me so much time.
Sorry, what? Couldn't hear you. Yeah, that'd be better.
We're currently on the Shropshire Union Canal in Cheshire and we're heading south. Here we're passing Tattenhall Marina, which is home to 300 boats. We've got about 3 miles to travel until we reach the first lock, and Michael has decided to walk whilst I bring the boat along. Through the trees we get our first view of Beeston Castle in the distance. We visited the castle when we came this way 8 years ago, and it was a really worthwhile trip. You can watch that trip in vlog 191 if you're interested. Under the bridge and we arrive at an old wharf which was once the site of a watermill, as there's a river running alongside the canal here. Now there's a waterside pub and plenty of mooring. Here's a closer view of the castle, and I think this is a good place to stop if you want to visit. There's actually so many rural moorings along this canal, you're spoilt for choice. Wharton Lock comes into view and there's a narrowboat already in the lock. Luckily they spot us approaching behind them and they wait for us to join them. Sharing locks with other boaters is one of my absolute favourite things about narrowboating. Just pretend you didn't see me bounce our bow off the gate and into the other boat. It was just a little tap as I wasn't going that fast, but I really hated doing it. And it's a little bit of an awkward way to meet someone for the first time, but these boaters were really lovely. There's a mile to travel before we reach the next lock, and as we're planning on sharing the lock with this boat again, they let us go first and we'll meet them there. I miss seeing George having fun between locks. He's currently snoozing on the stern with me. We've been slowly climbing since we left Chester, and we're being rewarded with some really lovely views across the fields. The next lock is actually Beeston Iron Lock, and it's recommended that boats only go through this lock one at a time due to the narrowing of the walls. I pull onto the lock landing to tie up and we'll get it set for the other boat to go through first. The lock was designed by Thomas Telford and built in 1828. The previous lock had issues with the unsteady ground. Iron plates were bolted together, the floor is on wooden piles, and there are vertical wooden posts to support the walls. I believe this is the only lock of this type on the whole system. Our companion boat went ahead and they're waiting for us at the next lock. This one is called Beeston Stone Lock. There's another strong bywash flowing into the canal below this one. A little extra speed and a counter steer will help. And just look at the relief on my face when I arrive without a bump this time. There's a boat waiting to come down and their crew very kindly help us through the lock.
So cute!
We have a change of driver here. Michael takes to the tiller for a while and I walk. When we arrive at Tilestone Lock, there's a boat coming down, so Michael hangs back with a boat and waits for that boat to clear the lock. After Tarstone Lock, I get back on the tiller and Michael's on the towpath once more. We pass under the railway bridge at Barbridge and arrive at the Anglo-Welsh Hire Base. Under one more bridge and we reach the Bunbury staircase locks. Once the lower lock chamber is equalised, we shuffle into the upper lock together. There's an historic stable block alongside these locks and I really love the look of it. I think it would make a great row of cafes or shops for pop-up events. I wonder who owns it. The wind's picked up a bit, which is making leaving this lock quite difficult, especially as there's a bend in the canal immediately above the lock and there's another boat on the lock landing waiting to come down. For that reason we coordinate for the boat to come into the lock before I make my exit. Even so, the wind still gets me.
And boom. Yeah.
It wasn't a boom, Michael, it was just a little tap. After a bit of a push on the bow and a lot of throttle, I'm on my way again. We've reached the wharf at Calverley and it looks like there's a CRT yard here. We're going to stop and use the boat services quickly. We empty our liquids tank and fill our water tank. It's really sad to see a sunken boat here and I'm always so curious to find out how things like this happen. From here it's just a mile to the Barbridge moorings where we've decided to stop for the night.
Are we ready to start?
I was ready 30 minutes ago.
Okay. We've made it to wherever the hell we are.
We're at Barbridge Junction. Well, the junction is just beyond those boats there. And we just stopped because Michael decided that we should go to the pub and we couldn't remember exactly where it is. And it's actually the other side of the junction. So we should have carried on. But
it's good that we stopped because we would have been arriving right about the time a boat was doing this out of the junction. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
And also here we're by a lovely noisy road, so that's good.
Yeah, that'll be better.
So, but we're only here for one night, so it's not really an issue. Good cruise, very nice to bump into that very nice couple to share the locks with.
Yeah, they were nice. At the end of it, he gave me a nice handshake, which was good, except for I've got this wound on my hand, and I didn't have time to tell him about it. So he was like, "Big handshake," and I'm like, "Thank you for the handshake," and then I walked away going, "Ow!"
Ow! But yeah, they were nice. But I made you do one lock because it was quite stressful going into some of the locks because they always went in first, which is fine. But it just means you've got a narrow place to aim for. But you do that in narrow locks anyway. But there was these really strong bywashers before the locks. So if you go slow, you get pushed right over.
And then you can't make it through the gate properly.
And if you go fast and you judge it wrong, then you do a little bump.
Yeah.
Which I did on the first lock because the gate wasn't fully open. If the gate had been open, I'd have gone in, but I bumped the gate that wasn't open. And then
and that was the one that couldn't open all the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And then I ricocheted into their boat and gave it a little tap. So
yeah.
So I was like, Michael, you do the I think the fourth lock I made you do because the bywashes were stressing me out.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to walk, and then you got to the lock and there was no bywash. You just sailed straight in.
Yeah, no problem. What was the problem? What's the issue? And I get off, we get to the next lock. And then you were all like, is there a bywash over the radio? No, there's no.
There wasn't on the last one. There was just hundreds of boats.
And then we made it to the junction, or not the junction, services, and finally got rid of some recycling, which is good. It's nice to see a recycling bin.
Yeah, I can.
Shame that both of the recycling bins were completely full.
Just shows there's a need for them.
Yeah.
And then Michael
For more of them.
Michael was going to walk all the way, but the towpath was so overgrown. Like, not necessarily from the grass. The grass was okay, but like the bushes coming over the top.
Yeah, it was mainly the rose bushes from above because I kept losing my hat. And then when, you know, I was like, I'll tough through it. There's got to be a point at which this is okay. Because, yeah, the grass is a little grown up, but it was fine. But then, just before I gave her the radio call was when I slipped and like ran my hand through a bunch of stinging nettles.
Oh, you did sound quite pissed off at that
And
point.
there's so many more stinging nettles in front of me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting to the point where I need a machete.
But then you got on the boat and it did clear up a little bit.
Yeah, it's been basically fine since, so I could have done the walk, but whatever. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
You live, you learn. You don't live, you also learn, you just don't know the lesson. Important philosophical point. Made at the side of the road.
Should we go to the pub?
Yeah, I need a drink. I have needed a drink since the day I was born. And I've just never gotten enough.
So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. All that good stuff.
Subscribe if you haven't already. And honestly, if you haven't already, what have you been missing out on? Like, this is hilarious.
Michael Magic.